The surge in Israeli-Palestinian violence has reached an intensity not seen in years, as violence continues to take place, affecting civilians and children. From West Asia to US, pro-Palestinian groups are demanding Israel to cease military action and stop the evictions of Palestinians from their homes in Sheikh Jarrah. In order to build up pressure on the Biden administration, more than 1,000 rallied and marched through the streets of Dearborn in the support of Palestinian cause. This as President Joe Biden visited the Michigan city that boasts a sizable population of Arab Americans. The Israeli embassy in Washington was surrounded by hundreds of pro-Palestinian protesters at one point during the protest. Demonstration leaders read the names of those killed in the Israeli airstrikes. Midtown Manhattan saw around 200 protesters gathering to denounce Israelis and show solidarity with Palestinians. About 2,000 people turned out in the Bay Ridge area of Brooklyn chanting slogans. They waved Palestinian flags and held placards that read, "End Israeli Apartheid." Several Jewish people attended carrying placards that said, "Not in my name," and solidarity with Palestine. Los Angeles also demanded an end to Israeli bombardment of Gaza. Hundreds of people gathered to protest.
Israel, you can't hide! You should do a genocide!
That is asking and demanding that the U.S. government people free the land!
Free the people, free the land!
There is only one...
The message to the U.S. government is to stop funding Israel with $3.8 billion in military aid a year. The message to Israel is that you cannot have a two-state plan and be preaching peace while you have people behind walls and being bombed and murdered and land stolen from them. That is not the way to peace.
Now, moving on to West Asia, Lebanon, which has been always a strong advocate of Palestinian causes, took to the streets to call out Israel. This is the 5th straight day of protest in the border areas. Scores of Palestinian and Lebanese protested along the border with Israel, pelting stones and climbing the cement wall, snaking around the frontier, drawing tear gas from Israeli forces. 5 people have been left injured, while others stand arrested. Benghazi, the largest city of Libya, is also protesting. Demonstrations condemned continued Israeli aggression against Gaza. Hundreds participated in the stand, which was held in front of the Tibesti Hotel in the city center, waving Palestinian flags and chanting pro-Palestinian slogans. Similar demonstrations took place around the country. The protesters called on Arab and Islamic countries to stop normalization with Israel and to work to support the Palestinian cause and its revolution against injustice and occupation. Hundreds of Chileans, many of them Palestinian, formed a protest convoy in Santiago to show their support for Palestinians amid the ongoing conflict with Israel. Protesters gathered in their cars and drove slowly down a highway in Santiago, honking their horns and waving the Palestinian flags. The rally was organized by Maurice Khamis, the president of the Palestinian community in Chile.